Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to crack the code on something we use literally every single day, but probably never really stop to think about, and that is grammar.
You know, a really great way to think about this comes from our source material. Imagine words are just bricks. Well, grammar, that's the mortar. It's the stuff that holds all those bricks together, giving our language its shape, its structure, and its strength.
Okay, but that kind of begs the question, right? If words are the bricks, what is this mortar, really? Like, what's it made of, and why is it so absolutely crucial for us to even understand each other? Let's dive in and break it all down.
So first things first, why do we even need grammar? Well, to get to the bottom of that, you have to wrap your head around a really fundamental and honestly, kind of strange truth about language. The words we use are bricks. They're totally arbitrary.
I mean, really think about it. There's nothing about a strawberry that screams strawberry, right? It's just a sound we've all agreed on. Without some kind of shared rulebook to organize these random sounds, communication would just fail. We'd just be making noises at each other and nobody would have a clue what's going on.
And that is exactly where grammar comes in. It's the shared system we need. And the very first thing it does is sort all of our word bricks into different piles, or what linguists call word classes.
Now, in English, there are about 9 of these classes, but for now, let's just focus on the 4 big ones, the heavy hitters you're looking at right here. You've got nouns, those are your people, places, and things. Then verbs, those are the actions. Adjectives, they describe the nouns, and adverbs describe the verbs. Pretty straightforward, right? And boom, here's a perfect example of how it all works together. Check out this sentence. Every single word has its own job to do. Ball, that's our noun, the thing. Red is the adjective, telling us about the ball. Kicked is our verb, the action. And softly, that's the adverb telling us how he kicked it. See? Every piece has its place, and they all work together.
Okay, but this is where it gets really cool. Our word bricks, they're not just static blocks. Think of them more like clay. They can actually change their shape to give us even more specific meaning.
So this whole shape-shifting thing, it has a name. It's called inflection. You might also hear it called conjugation when we're talking specifically about verbs. And this is how we add all those crucial little layers of detail to our sentences, things like time and perspective.
Probably the most obvious example of this is tense. It's super simple. Tense just pins an action to a spot on the timeline. Did it happen in the past? Is it happening now? Or will it happen in the future? That's it.
But then you've got something called aspect, which is a little more subtle, but wow, is it powerful. Aspect isn't about when something happens, it's all about how it happens. You know, was it a single, completed thing, or was it something that was ongoing?
Just look at this example right here. On one side, you have she's sang. That feels done, right? A single, finished event. The concert is over. But on the other side, she was singing. That paints a totally different picture. It describes a process that was happening. The entire vibe of the sentence changes just by tweaking the aspect.
Another really neat tool in our grammar toolkit is something called voice. And what this does is it lets you change the focus of a sentence by flipping around who's doing the action versus who's having the action done to them.
And believe me, this isn't just some dusty old grammar rule. This has real-world consequences, as our source material points out. I mean, think about it. How many times have you heard a politician say something like, mistakes were made, or healthcare funding was cut? That's the passive voice in action. It very cleverly focuses your attention on the event itself while making it, well, a little fuzzy on who is actually responsible.
All right, so we've got our word bricks, and we know we can shape them. So what's next? Well, now we need the actual blueprint, the instructions for how to put them all together to build something that actually stands up, a sentence that makes sense. And that blueprint? It's called syntax. It's simply the set of rules for how we arrange our words. And honestly, in English, the basic formula is way simpler than you might think.
I mean, look at this breakdown. At its core, pretty much any English sentence is just 2 parts. You start with a noun phrase, that's your subject, like the cat. Then you add a verb phrase, that's the action, like chase the dog. You put them together, and you get a complete sentence. That's it. That's the basic pattern our brain is hardwired to look for.
Because of that structure, English is what linguists call an SVO language, subject, verb, object. The cat chased the dog. Makes perfect sense, right? Our brains process it instantly. But if I said, chased the cat the dog, what? Your brain just kind of stalls out. It doesn't compute.
And that's because in English, word order is absolutely everything.
Okay, so we've gone from individual words to full sentences, from the bricks to the entire building. But if we really want to crack this code, let's zoom in just one more time. Let's go all the way down to the absolute atomic level of language. What's the smallest possible piece of meaning we can find?
Well, that fundamental particle, that smallest bit of meaning, is called a morpheme. And here's the key thing to remember. A morpheme isn't always a whole word. It can be just a piece of a word. Any little bit, no matter how small, as long as it carries some kind of meaning.
So, for example, some morphemes like dog or house are what we call free. They can stand all by themselves. But other morphemes, like the little s we stick on the end of a word to make it plural, are bound. That s definitely has a meaning, right? It means more than one, but it can't just float around on its own. It has to be attached to something else to work.
And just like that, we've come full circle. Morphemes are like the atoms that build up our word bricks. Syntax is the mortar that lets us arrange all those bricks into sturdy sentences. And when you put it all together, that's how we create the entire amazing architecture of communication.
It really is this incredible, almost invisible system, isn't it? This secret code that we all share. It lets us take simple sounds and turn them into huge, complex ideas, into arguments and poems and jokes. It lets us literally build entire worlds out of nothing but air. So, now that you've had a peek at the code, the only question left is, what world are you building today?